Just out here in a pasture in southwest Nebraska. Those trees is where a homestead used to be back in the day. But you're here for a story. Do you have a short fuse? Well, I'm here to tell you that a lot of people do. That they don't think before they speak. And your words can condemn you, or the words can set you free. The Bible talks about that. Give you an example. We had a neighbor up here in the trailer court had a mean dog. Big mean dog. And he'd get loose off his chain now and then. One day I was sitting in there reading the paper in my house and I heard screaming. So I came out, and on top of this trash dumpster was a little girl screaming her guts out, terrified. And that dog got loose and he was jumping up and snapping at her, trying to get her, he was. Well, I took and I leave a garden hoe at my front door because I garden in the front and backyard. And I headed over to try to drive that dog off. Neighbor up the street came the other direction. That dog decided 2 against 1 might not be a good idea, so he got the devil out of there, ran back over to his own property. My wife at the same time called the cops. Well, it took them 15 minutes to get over here. By that time, the dog owner had his dog back on a chain and denied everything. Since he was a city employee, the cops believed him over the rest of us. Okay. The neighbor that came down the street, he got in that dog owner's face, though, and he told him, he said, that dog ever get loose again, I'm going to kill him. I'm going to kill him. Well, it wasn't even a week later, that dog did get loose. And the dog owner, he found him dead. I said he found him dead. He was mad. Well, he called the cops. The cops went straight to the guy that said, I'm going to kill that dog. And they gave him a real hard time, I'm here to tell you. Chewed him big time. Tried every trick in the book to get him to admit that he had done it. They couldn't get it done. But needless to say, so the guy that did the threat and the dog owner were enemies for the rest of their lives. I said the rest of their lives, some dozen years before the dog owner finally passed away himself. They were bitter enemies, and they made it real interesting for the rest of us too, because those two hated each other and were always trying to get even with each other for the rest of their lives. Well, the dog owner died a dozen years later. And about 3 years later, the guy that had done the threatening on killing the dog, he died. Well, I went to his funeral. And I was there at the funeral and made mention. I said, I wonder if he did kill that dog way back then. And the guy standing beside me said, I know he didn't do that. And I said, well, I hope he didn't. He said, no, you don't understand. I said, I know he didn't kill that dog. Because he said, I killed that dog. He said, I'm just up the street myself. Got 2 little kids just like you do, but he said, I'm not going to risk those 2 little kids, one or both of them getting killed or maimed, mutilated by that big mean dog when he got loose. So he said, I saw him, and he said, I killed him. And he said, of course, it was pretty easy to do, because he said, I knew that other guy had threatened to kill him. So he said, no question who was going to get blamed for it. Who was going to get blamed for it? So your words can get you into a rock and a hard place. I'm telling you. So think long and hard before you speak. And if at all possible, try to keep peace with your neighborhood and your neighbors, even the bad ones. I bet there would have been another way to have gotten that dog under control. Or, if push came to shove, if you absolutely had to protect your family through violence, the last thing you do is talk about it first, and after it's done, again, you don't talk about it then either. The old saying is 3 people can keep a secret if 2 are dead and the last one alive never gets drunk. It's McCook's Mr. Bill. Watch your words. They might just hang you.